As a 31-year-old husband and dad, I think deeply about what it means to live a good life. And though I am still relatively young, I feel confident in saying that these are the 5 most valuable things in life. You may be surprised to learn that money is not one of them. We're going to count down from number 5. So number 5 is family and friends who love and support you. Having close-knit relationships with people that you care deeply about is an essential piece of living a good life. More often than not, this will first and foremost be your family and your spouse. The bond, of course, between family is incredibly strong because it's based on blood. Your parents, whether you think about this or not, sacrificed their time and their freedom to bring you into this world and to care for you. And as a new dad with a 1-year-old son, I can now say with certainty that there is nothing like the connection that you feel with your children. Your parents and your siblings, and especially your spouse, are the ones that are often there for you when you go through hard times, and are also there to share in your successes and your triumphs with you. It's so important to have people that you can be real and authentic with in your life. So I do hope that you have that with your family. And also, if you have close friends that feel like family and you truly love and care deeply about as people, you are extremely blessed and wealthy. Cherish those relationships and don't let the pursuit of money put those relationships in any sort of jeopardy. Counting down to number 4. 4 is your character and your integrity. It may not be something that is valued as much by society as it used to be, but I can assure you that it is still a very important piece of living a good life. If somebody dropped you at the top of Mount Everest via helicopter, would you take any sense of pride in being there? I don't know about you, but I certainly would not. And why is that? You would certainly enjoy the view, but that sense of going through the hardship, making that journey, and arriving at the top, that just would not be there. It's a fake. It's a mirage. The real satisfaction is in the journey, in the struggle, when you maintain your character and your integrity despite everything that life throws at you. Doing things the right way may not be popular, but it will bring you true fulfillment, and it's an extremely valuable thing that you should feel a lot of internal pride about. Just make sure that you don't need others to validate that pride to truly feel it. It should be enough that you know in your heart that you have good character. You can't control others around you, and you have to understand that not everybody will value it. But that's okay, because you're running your own race. And the best thing for your race is maintaining good character and living with kindness and integrity. Number 3 is having the freedom to live the life that you want to live. This one is so important. If you take a global view of the world, there are so many people out there that are oppressed by their governments, by their civil authorities, by cults or religions, by their families, even by their spouses. If you are fortunate enough to not be in one of these situations, and you still live in a country that is considered free, then congratulations, you are one of the lucky ones. But there are layers to being free. I live in the USA, and I can say with certainty that there are many people living in America that are slaves to their jobs, to financial debt, to our particular ideology or religion, or something else. The most common form of entrapment that I see is financial in nature, and that's why it's so important to stay disciplined and to have patience and to live with a mindset of delayed gratification. I'm not saying you should just put off all the good things in your life and work till you're 65, not by any means. What I'm saying is that you should be eradicating laziness with a passion so that you can improve your situation, so that your future self, your future family will have more freedom to live the life that you want to live. There are, of course, varying degrees to this, and not everybody will retire at 40. But any sort of improvement that you can make to your life, any sort of additional freedom you can gain, will translate to a better situation in the future and is extreme wealth, in my opinion. And again, money might be a part of this equation, but it's really just one input of many. There are far more variables involved in crafting a life with more freedom than just increasing your financial wealth. Okay, now we're getting to the important stuff here. Number 2 is your health. It does not matter how much money or freedom you have in this life if you do not have your health. Anyone who has been through a debilitating injury, extended illness, or chronic health condition knows this firsthand. Even the best laid plans and goals take an immediate backseat if your body can't help you move toward them. That's why it's so important to develop healthy habits in your life. It's also important to note that I'm not just talking about physical health here. Your mental health and your spiritual health are just as important as your physical health, and issues with these can be just as debilitating. So in addition to having strong nutrition and exercising regularly, you should be seeking therapy if you have things that you need to work through, or pursuing spiritual growth and healing if that's where your beliefs and your values align. Health is a multifaceted thing and requires constant attention and nurturing to keep up. And even if you do all these things right, there could still be something unexpected that comes up, like a cancer diagnosis, for example, which is completely out of your control. So really the healthiest thing that you can do in regard to your health is to form the best habits that you can and accept that some things will always be out of your control. Life can be full of surprises, and that's actually a perfect segue to the number one most valuable thing in life, which is time. You cannot put a price on time. You need to guard your time like your life depends on it, because it does. It's crazy to me that people will go to extreme lengths to guard their financial wealth, like hiring security, building storage sites, parking their money in offshore accounts, but will give up their time like it's nothing by doom scrolling on their phones, engaging in toxic behaviors, making bad decisions, and honestly just not living life to its fullest potential. Time is finite and is not guaranteed, despite being very difficult for some people to talk about. Your time on this earth will end, and it may end sooner than you're expecting. But this doesn't have to be depressing or the source of an existential crisis. What it should do is motivate you to use your time wisely, live every day with intentionality, and live in an eternal state of gratitude for the time and the experiences that you've already been granted. If you can make this mindset shift, you will not be scared of the future and the uncertainties that it holds. You can let go of that anxiety that you're feeling and be fully alive in the present. Now, time, barring any near-term advances in quantum mechanics, moves at the same speed for everybody on this earth. And that should be a comfort to us all. Because though some people were born with privilege in respect to wealth and upbringing, it's impossible to be privileged with respect to time. We all start with the same potential amount of time on this earth, and it moves at the same speed for all of us. In a way, it's the great equalizer. So really, it's time to ditch the excuses and start living a life that you can be proud of and grateful for. And try to live in the moment. You may need to forgive yourself for some things so that you can stop living in the past. You may need to dive into the issues or treat some of the issues that are causing you anxiety or worry so that you can stop living in the future. The only thing that matters is the present, this exact moment in time. That's all for this video. I hope that this discussion helps put life in perspective for you and that you realize that acquiring money does not need to be your ultimate goal. There are far more valuable things to aspire to, like preserving your health and your character so that you can generate more freedom to cherish the time with the family and the friends who love and support you in this life.